I want to make $1 million and I want to make it fast. I want to make it by the end of 2023. This video series is documenting the step-by-step process of my $1 million journey. Welcome to session 32. It is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. My name is Edward James Carey. Welcome to Praxis Living, where I create content to help you create the life that you desire. If you've been following this series, then you know that I am using stock trading as my way to create my first $1 million. Yesterday, I tested a new process that I'm using in order to speed up my journey. This is the goal. Yesterday was day one of this new series, and I confess I made a bit of a mess. Today is going to be cleanup day on that mess as I continue pursuing what I believe is a very good idea. Let's go to the scoreboard so I can give you an idea of what to expect today. All right, let's begin by, let's pull this out here. Let's look at the market. Pre-market is $28.05 per share on stocks of AI today. Yesterday's close was $28.10. And I ended yesterday by purchasing 1,490 shares. And I believe that I pulled those out of a short position. I picked them up at a share cost of $28.19 each. Current value is a little bit lower than that. So I'm already starting today in a negative position. Now here is my scorecard. On the top, you see open orders that I have not closed, representing share lots that I have bought and the dollar values that I have bought at. On the bottom, you see short positions, which are also open, representing share lots of shares that I sold, at what points I sold them at, that I need to close those positions by purchasing the shares back. So today I am going to spend my time both buying and selling shares. Now here's the idea. I currently have 1,490 shares. I'm going to do a combination of things. I have 1,490 shares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to short a position for a certain amount of shares and add that to the list down here. But then whatever shares I have left over that I did not short, I'm just going to take profit on, and I'm going to reduce that amount of shares from one of these open positions. I need to work myself out of all of these positions that you see highlighted here. My goal is to negate all of these transactions by a combination of buying shares lower than these values in brackets and selling shares higher than these values in open lots. And as you can see, I have roughly 4,000 or so shares on the positive side to close that are still open. And I also have around 3,000 to 4,000 shares on the short side to open and close. I made a big mess yesterday. I'm going to work on cleaning that mess up in around 6 minutes when the market's open. We will see how this day goes. I'm going to try to avoid what I did yesterday by buying and selling too many times throughout the day. I'm looking for strategic buys and sells today. I'm going to try to time them better, and I'm going to start working on the list. Now, the way that this is going to happen is as I sell shares on the top side and then wait for the market to go down in order to reacquire shares, I should be able to take the money that I make by selling the shares and purchasing more shares at the bottom so that I eventually accumulate more and more and more shares. That will allow me to slowly work my way out of closing these short positions and selling off these high positions. Rather than try to explain it on camera, I'm just going to demonstrate it throughout the upcoming days, and I'm going to move forward with my goal. So stay tuned. Market's open in 5 minutes. I'll be back shortly. All right, we have 10 seconds for the market to open, and I need to be ready to sell my shares when the opportunity presents itself. Let's see where the market begins today. We are opening with a a little bit of a sell-off today. Now, since I picked up shares at the end of the day yesterday, it is not in my best interest to sell these shares at less value than where I purchased them. I purchased the shares at $28.19 a piece. So I really don't want to let them go for less than $28.19. I kind of am holding on to shares that I'm going to have to wait for a little bit of a rally at least for them to go past $28.19 in a positive direction. I want to sell them at a peak, and then I want to put them on the open market, let go of 1490 shares, and then I want to buy back as many shares as I can at a lower value. And I want to add to my position of 1,490 shares. I want to increase it. So I can already see that yesterday's decision to reacquire shares at the end of the day was not the best play. All right, I sold my 1,490 shares at $27.78. Looking at a market downswing, I'm going to see if I can simply reposition my cost on that short position by waiting to see if it goes down this morning to a lower position. I will then reacquire hopefully more shares than I sold. I sold 1,490. We'll see how many I can buy back. Maybe I can get 1,500. Maybe I can get more. It depends on how low the share value drops sometime over the morning. Right now, the volume in the market is still low, 364,000 shares in the first 15 minutes. You can see here on the graph what that does to the share value. The share value is hardly moving at all. There is normally heavy volatility within the first 60 minutes of the stock market on any given day. So that's what I'm waiting for, is I'm waiting for the heavy volatility in the morning. And that's what I'm using to my advantage to capitalize on in order to begin moving forward with this new system of mine. But if I don't see the volatility, if it doesn't exist, then I can't use anything to my advantage. I'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. We will see how the morning begins to shape up for the day. All right, so I have recalculated my risk. I have reestablished my position that I sold this morning. The market was selling off and it has gone down a significant amount. I don't know if it's finished. I sold these 1,490 shares this morning at $27.78. I've been able to reacquire my position at $27.41. As you can see though, I've been able to not just pick up the 1,490 shares that I had, I've been able to add to my position. I now have 1,510 shares. So what that allows me to do is that allows me to take off these 1,490, gone, but it also allows me to move, what's the difference? It also allows me to move 20 more shares that I did not have this morning off of one of these other short positions. Now I'm going to go for the lowest cost position right here, 1,400. I'm going to change this to 1,380. I now have 1,380 shares left outstanding in that open order, which I have been able to acquire since I was able to reposition my capital. Same amount of capital, I just have more shares now. In fact, do I have any money left over to buy any more shares? I do. I could actually buy one more. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll just buy one more share. Every share helps. Can I buy one more? 27.33? Nope, not quite. All right, so I purchased one more share just to add it to the pile. I now have the ability to remove this down to 1,380. I'm going to put it to 1,379. Open orders. I want to take the ones that are the lowest cost because they're going to be the hardest ones for me to get back down to and close out. All these other ones here at $28 and some odd cents, there's an easier chance for the share values to drop to $28.35 than there is for it to drop to $27.96. I want to see if I can get out of this position at 1379 shares at 27.96, hopefully by the end of this week at some point. But we will see how it goes. Now, so far, the market is already climbing up higher than where I purchased these shares of 1,510 shares. But what is my next play? Well, my next play is to now hold on to my 1,511 shares. I want to try to hold on to those now until we get back up above any one of these open orders at 28.53, 28.95, 28.96. I want to see the share values now go up throughout the remainder of the day. I want to see if I can close one of those open buy orders with the 1,511 shares that I just acquired at a profit, and then then hold that cash, wait for the markets to go down again, rinse and repeat this process of closing a short position and then riding up the market again to resell on an open buy order. So I've made my move for the morning. There's nothing left for me to do at this point. I am going to now take some time away. I'm going to get back in my routine of enjoying my morning and letting the activity of the market do its thing. I will be back soon and we will see where we are at. Stay tuned. All right, it is 7:46 a.m. I am back and there is an update for me to inform you guys of. I was sitting here watching and everything was going well. Share values were climbing from where I purchased them. And then I saw a market turnaround starting to happen here. So what I did was I dumped my 1,511 shares. I didn't make a profit on any of these closed trades up here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to open a new short position. I opened a short position for 28.09. My next play is to see if I can wait out another market decline and see if I can catch these 1,379 shares down at $27.96 or below. Those ones are harder to get at than these ones that I just unloaded at 28.09. So effectively what I'm doing is I'm shifting the shares that I have open in my short positions to a higher and higher dollar cost so that they're easier to close on the way down. I will now wait this out for a little bit longer and I will see where we go later in this day. Stay tuned, I'll be back soon. All right, it is 8:29 in the morning. Let's do an update and we will see where things are at. In the beginning, I was correct in order to short this position here. Markets did go down as low as 27.85, and I could have closed my short position at 27.96 because we were below that for a while. I chose not to, and I figured the market was going to continue to go down, but it has not. As we can see, the market has reached a low of around 27.85 and is now on the upward trend again. Considering the fact that I only have cash available in my trade balance and I have no positions of actual shares to sell, I am done for the day at this point. My day is complete. I'm not going to rush into a trade and create a bigger mess. I need share values to go back down below $27.75. That's where I want them. And that's where I'm making my next play to reacquire a new position. I will monitor the markets throughout the rest of the day, and I will see if things turn around and crash down and sell off to below 27.75 so that I can consider a new play. Other than that, if the markets continue to go up, well, then I am waiting another day to see what I can do tomorrow. So I will check in later in the day to let you know how things went. And in the meantime, I am going to enjoy myself. See you soon. Welcome back. It is 10:16 a.m. Let's go to the markets, see what's going on. I am hopeful today. I'm looking at opportunity here. I previously sold a short position at 28.09 for 1,511 shares. I want to close this position of 1,379 shares of 27.96. I can do that right now at 27.85. I've been holding out, hoping for 27.75 to make a decent profit on that. I'm still not sure if we're going to drop to 27.75 today or not. I do see that the markets are trending and slowly moving down. So I'm really kind of holding on to my patience and wanting to see if we can cross that barrier going down of 27.85 or 27.75 before I sell off that position. I'm still monitoring the markets. I'm sticking around. I'm gonna give it a few minutes. The idea that I'm working with today is to just simply, I see opportunity in the market today to slowly shift my open sell short orders to a higher dollar cost every time the market swings up. For example, I wanna close this short position at 27.96 and get out of it. The next short position I have is at 28.09. So once I close this short position, I then want to wait and hold on to my shares until we get above 28.09 again. And then I want to create a new short position and then wait for the market to drop and then close the one below it. I'm basically playing leapfrog with my positions for a little while, just to make my short positions easier and easier to close. Every time I do a short position and a repurchase, I'm slowly also accumulating shares. I started this morning with 1,490 shares. I'm currently up to 1,511, and I'm about to see how many more I can pick up by closing out this next short position. When I finally decide to do it, it is still early in the morning, 10:19. I'm looking at all of this activity, as you can see in the market. This peak this morning, we've never been back there to 28.32 again today. We've slowly dipped, we went back up, we started going sideways all day. There has been opportunity here that I've been watching and missing out on to reposition. To sell up here at 28.27, reposition at 27.94, resell at 28.16, reposition at 27.95. I have been sitting all of that activity out, and now I'm a little bit frustrated with it all. So now I think I'm just going to get involved and I'm going to take this opportunity to my advantage. Okay, so I just acquired 1,520 shares at $27.88. I took a risk. I don't know if it's going to keep going down or not. We will see. I know that the afternoon is coming and there might be an actual rally up. So I'm taking advantage of this opportunity. Now, I sold 1,511 shares, but I repurchased 1,520 shares. I've added 9 shares to my total amount of holding. All right, so it looked like the market was gonna start going back up on me. It's okay, I bought 1,520 shares for $27.88, and that has allowed me to close my previous short position of 1,379 shares at $27.96. It also allowed me to reduce my 1,511 shares that I sold this morning at 28.09 and reduce that down to 1,370. So now there is less shares for me to close on that short position. I have more shares that I'm holding on to when we see an increase in price today. If we do not go up high enough in order for me to close one of these positions where I actually bought shares at 28.53 and higher, if we don't reach that level, that's fine. I'll just create another short position, hopefully a short position above $28.09. And then I will put 1,520 shares on the market, short those, and then I will wait for the market to go back down a little bit, and then I will close these 1,370 shares that I purchased at 28.09. I will just keep redoing this over and over and over again until I eventually buy back all of the shares that I've shorted. I have basically made my decision. I've made my maneuver for now, and I am now holding on to 1,520 shares that that I paid $27.88 for. Stay tuned, it is still early in the day, it's only 10:25. I'll be back soon. Okay, it is 12:46. I am near the end of the day here. I'm gonna call it a day, I'm gonna wrap it up, but I'm just gonna give you an update on what I've done. Let's go over a couple of moves that I made. I was busy throughout the day. I started capitalizing on this up and down activity, and I started creating a short position at a high point, closing it at a low point, creating a position at a high point, closing at a low point. I did that several times, and I was actually building up shares as I did it. I eventually got myself stuck in an open short position for 1,528 shares at $27.60. I couldn't close it. The markets turned around and started going back up, and they've been going up ever since. So what I did is instead, since I could not close that short position at $27.60, I did close an outstanding short trade that I made this morning, earlier in the day, at $28.09. I repurchased and bought those shares back. I also shifted and took some of the shares off of these shares at $28.35, closed some of those as well. So that's all I'm doing today. I now have a share balance of 1,518 shares. Overall, I am moving in the right direction. I've been able to get more of an idea of what I'm doing as far as moving my money around now. I'm basically selling short or closing positions when it's high, holding the capital, and then repurchasing shares and closing short positions on the low. I'm going to do that a few times over and over until I clean up all of these trades on my balance sheet and start moving in the right direction. Now, another thing I noticed that I should point out, by the way, is that I also noticed an increase in my total value. Now, we already know that this value changes based on what the share value is, but throughout the course of the day, because of the way that I've shifted my money, I was able to actually get my account balance up by about $400 to $500 today, which is good. It's moving in the right direction. So that is it for today. I appreciate you hanging out with me on these sessions. If you have liked my videos, if you have subscribed to my channel, if you're one of the ones leaving comments on the channel, I appreciate all of these things. It helps me grow this new channel. It helps me get my message out to other people, and that message is important. Financial mastery and taking control of your finances. I cannot wait to come back tomorrow for session 33. Tomorrow, Thursday, September 14th, I will be here bright and early. I hope that you join me on that session, and if so, you can join me right over here.